Pay close attention. The most dangerous individual in the room is not the person who is the loudest, the one who is the angriest, or the one trying to win. It is the person who says nothing and shifts the emotional mood of the space instantly. In the first few moments of any meeting, toxic people search for one thing only: to reaction. If they can get one out of you, they own the situation. If they cannot, something deep inside them changes. They feel unsure, then they feel fear. There are quiet habits that stop manipulation without needing a fight. There are no arguments, no explanations, and no big shows, just steady pressure. This is pressure that makes toxic people pull back because they cannot read you, cannot rule over you, and cannot guess what you will do. If this is making you see power in a new way, stay with me and listen now, because the next part goes even deeper into mental strength without any fighting. Controlled stillness is one of the most ignored yet very strong habits when it comes to dealing with toxic people, because it says much more than words ever could. At first look, staying quiet and calm might seem passive, or even a bit weak. But in truth, it is a smart move that flips the whole situation in your favor. Toxic people live for a reaction. They are built to find and use emotional responses. They look for signs of being upset, worried, rushed, or defensive, because every bit of emotion becomes a tool they can use to lead the talk. When you use controlled stillness, none of those tools are there for them. Your body language, your face, and your voice all show calm and a steady presence. There is a hidden but real pressure in stillness that toxic people feel right away. Silence is not empty. It is a space filled with power. When you refuse to fill the quiet with words or feelings, the person trying to lead you is forced to face the worry of not knowing what is happening inside your mind. Their brain wants to know what happens next, and stillness takes that away from them. They might act out, test you, or even look nervous because the old ways they use, like making you feel guilty or confusing you, are not working. Controlled stillness also shows that you are totally in charge of your own feelings, which is a scary thought for someone used to using others. Your calm acts like a mirror, reflecting their anger back at them without hurting you, making it useless. This habit does not need a fight, an explanation, or a reason. It just exists as a wall that is felt even if it is not spoken. The strength of controlled stillness grows when you add other quiet habits like waiting before you speak or staying neutral. But even alone, it sets up a mental order where you are the one who is sure and steady, while the toxic person is left feeling open, shaky, and worried. Learning this is not about being mean or cold. It is about using silence as a tool to keep power over your own mind and energy, making a space where manipulation simply cannot land. Waiting before you speak is a quiet habit that changes how you deal with toxic people, because it moves the power from their hands into yours. Most people who try to lead others act on sudden feelings. They push you or test you because their power comes from making you react fast. When you answer right away, you give them exactly what they want, a way to pull your feelings and a pattern they can guess. By slowly pausing before you speak, even for a few seconds, you break that flow and make them feel uneasy. That unease is the start of fear. That short wait shows that you do not just react. You do not care about their plans or their praise. It forces them to deal with not knowing what is next, because humans naturally want patterns and control. When you refuse to be easy to guess, you create a tight feeling in the other person's mind. During that pause, your brain is thinking and choosing an answer based on a plan rather than just a reflex, which is a clear show of inner power. The toxic person notices this even if they do not know it, because they feel the emotional rope they usually pull has snapped. Waiting also shows you are calm, patient, and sure of yourself. It tells the other person that you are thinking on a higher level, and that their tries to upset you will not change how you act. Over time, this makes you seem hard to guess. You become someone who cannot be ruled or scared. The best part of this habit is that it does not involve fighting or arguing. It is totally silent, yet it takes away their weapons. As the pause lasts just long enough to make them doubt themselves, they become careful and afraid of pushing too far, because they no longer know what you will do. It changes the way things go without a single word, putting you in a strong spot while leaving the other person feeling stuck. Learning to wait is not about being slow to decide. It is about being in charge. It is the choice not to react fast and the quiet power that shows up When someone sees that your actions follow your own rules, not the mess they try to make. Staying neutral is a quiet weapon that stops toxic people because it takes away their best tool power over your feelings. Toxic people live on reactions like anger, guilt, fear, or frustration because every emotional jump gives them a way to lead you. When they see that their words or tricks do not cause any visible reaction, the whole plan falls apart. Staying neutral is not about hiding your feelings or acting like nothing matters. It is about being the master of your inner world and choosing what you let change your behavior. Every small smile, sigh, or look that you keep inside takes away their proof that they are winning. In real life, this means keeping a steady voice, a calm face, and still body language even when someone tries to make you mad. The lack of a reaction creates a mess for toxic people because their plans need you to act a certain way. They expect you to fight back, defend yourself, or get worried. When you refuse to do that, they have to face a world where they no longer run the show. Staying neutral also shows you are confident and do not need others. It tells the person without words that your mood is set by you, not by their tricks. Over time, being neutral makes the toxic person stop and think before trying to mess with you because they know it will not work. This quiet habit acts like mental armor, making a safe space where your feelings cannot be used against you. It is vital to know that being neutral does not mean you are not there. It is a smart way of being present that shows you are aware and in control. By being neutral, you build a hidden wall that cannot be broken by drama. In doing this, you slowly shift who has the power. Toxic people start to fear this steady calm because they cannot guess what it will do. You are not fighting and you are not running away. That quiet skill is much more scary than a loud fight. In the end, staying neutral turns silence into a strong form of power that makes manipulation almost impossible, leaving you in total control of yourself and the meeting. Setting boundaries without explaining them is a quiet habit that quickly changes how toxic people see you, because it draws a line they cannot cross without a debate. Most people who use others like to bargain. They use guilt and test your limits because people feel they must explain themselves or defend their choices. Every word of explanation is just more fuel for them to use. When you set a limit quietly, calmly, and without a why, that fuel is gone. Stating a limit once and keeping it shows you have respect for yourself. There is no sorry, no asking, and no defending. Just a clear limit that says, "This is my space and you cannot change it." Not giving an explanation puts a lot of mental pressure on the toxic person because it stops the script they usually follow. They cannot argue with silence and they cannot use guilt when no words are given to them. This works on many levels. It stops things from getting worse, saves your energy, and shows that your rules are final. Toxic people soon learn that crossing your lines leads to nothing, no fight, no deal, and no change. This often makes them feel upset and worried. Over time, setting limits without words trains them to be careful because they see that their old tricks will not work on you. This is not about being mean. It is about being firm and choosing to show power through what you do rather than what you say. By mixing this with silence and calm, you make a world where toxic people are stopped and afraid to step over the line, not because of a fight, but because you have shown you are the boss of your own space. Choosing what to notice is a quiet habit that moves power to you, because it teaches toxic people that only things that matter to you get a response. Their tries to mess with you are just ignored. Toxic people think that if you are always talking or reacting, they are in charge. They need your focus to make their behavior feel okay or to start a fight. Every look or word you give to a small trick feeds their ego. Choosing what to notice breaks that chain. By picking where to look and what to answer, you say that your energy is rare and that their tricks are a waste of time. This does not mean you ignore everything. It means you know the difference between real talk and just noise. When toxic people see that their games get no reaction, they start to feel useless and unsure. Over time, this teaches them that they cannot get your attention through drama. It also shows you are the boss of yourself because it takes focus and self-control. You are always deciding what is worth your time rather than letting others choose for you. This shows up as holding eye contact only when needed and keeping your body calm. It tells them your energy is protected and cannot be touched. The fear this creates is small but strong. They realize their tricks do not work on someone who chooses what to notice. Combined with staying still and waiting to speak, this creates a wall around your mind. It makes your presence a statement you live on your terms, and nothing that does not fit your goals can shake your balance. This leaves toxic people feeling left out and afraid to try anything at all. How you stand and how you breathe is a quiet habit that shows power without words, changing how toxic people act around you. Toxic people look for weakness. They see it in your body. Low shoulders, fast breathing, or shaking hands are like signs that say you are easy to lead. They show you are nervous or open to being hurt. On the other hand, standing tall and breathing slowly sends a message of calm power that everyone can see. Your body speaks before you do, and toxic people feel it when someone takes up space with confidence. Breathing helps this because it keeps your heart steady and your feelings under control. A slow breath in and out shows you are calm and aware, even when things are tough, making the other person doubt their plan. The mix of good posture and breath creates a quiet field of energy that says your inner state cannot be touched. Toxic people feel this because they want to spread their bad mood to you. When your calm cannot be shaken, their tries to lead you just bounce off. Over time, this teaches them they cannot mess with you, because your body shows you are the master of yourself. It makes your silence and your pauses even more strong. Standing and breathing right is not about acting like a robot. It is about natural strength and keeping yourself steady. Toxic people see these signs fast, often before they even know why, which makes you the steady one and them the one who just reacts. By doing this, you build a presence that is hard to break. It is a show of power that makes toxic people stay in their place, leaving you in charge of your space and how they see you. Validating yourself is a quiet habit that stops toxic people, because it takes away their main power, the chance to tell you what you are worth. Toxic people want you to look for their okay. They use guilt and tricks because most people want others to tell them they are doing well. Every mean word or lack of a good job only works if you need them to feel good about yourself. Validating yourself stops that. By knowing your own value and choices, you become safe from their tricks. You no longer need them to say you are smart or worthy, which makes their words useless. In real life, you do this by seeing your own strengths and telling yourself you did well, rather than waiting for someone else to say it. When toxic people see that neither mean words nor nice ones change your mood, a big shift happens. They feel they have no power and get very careful, because their tricks no longer get a result. This habit goes well with being neutral and choosing what to notice. While you stay calm, self-validation keeps your balance safe from the mess they try to make. Over time, this builds a mental wall stronger than any argument because it shows your inner world is run by you alone. Toxic people feel this right away because they can no longer scare you or make you sad with their drama. This is not about being stuck up. It is about knowing yourself and having mental power. It turns silence into a show of strength. You live by your own rules, your worth is safe, and they have no say in how you feel. The fear this puts in toxic people is deep. They see their old ways fail, leaving them feeling weak while you stay in charge of your own life and feelings. Being hard to guess is a quiet habit that changes the power with toxic people because it breaks the patterns they use to lead you. Toxic people are pros at reading how others act. They watch what you do and guess what you will do next to get what they want. When you act the same way every time, they can plan their next move. Being hard to guess takes that away. By changing how you answer and when you speak, you create a world of not knowing that makes them think twice. This does not mean acting crazy. It means choosing how to act based on your plan, not their bait. This shows you have high inner power because it proves your actions come from your own choice, not from their tries to push you. Toxic people find this very worrying because they need to know what you will do. They do well when they can guess how you will feel. When they meet someone who is calm but not easy to read, they feel unsafe and a bit scared. Over time, this habit earns respect or creates fear because they see they cannot lead you. Being hard to guess also helps your other quiet habits. Mixed with staying still and being neutral, it makes you a presence that is both steady and a mystery, making it risky for a toxic person to test you. Being hard to guess is not about being mean. It is about keeping your freedom and showing you do not follow their rules. The fear it makes is quiet but strong. They feel that they cannot get to you through pressure or drama. This quiet skill transforms how you interact, making you the one in charge while the toxic person has to be careful and realizes they are no longer the boss. You stay in total control of your actions, your focus, and your heart. Hey,